Week 10. How about the Yankees last night finally getting a win for me?
Yeah, they got lucky.
Got a long ways to go to get that ticket home. Week 10 NFL.
You think they got lucky?
I think they got
11,
lucky.
11
They're going down
4?
tonight.
Wow.
3, 2, 1.
Well, we are back, guys. Welcome back to the one and only Get the Edge. I am Scott Matthews, the host of the show, and we got an action-packed show coming at you today. Not only we got the World Series still going on, we thought it might not make it after game number 3 going into 4, but it is going to a game 5 tonight at Yankee Stadium. We got some big-time college football to talk about. We got the NFL. We got NBA, and I got, more importantly, my main man down there on the end with the shiniest shirt in the business. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Tommy King from TK Wins. What's up, Tommy? How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. I told you I wear another shirt. I'm trying to get Robert Graham to sponsor the show for us here, so got to change up the shirts every week here.
I'll tell you, man, that is something. Guys, take a look at that. I mean, I feel
One
like...
more time, Ben. One more time on that shirt.
I feel like...
the back's even brighter.
Look at that thing.
All right, and listen, we couldn't do it without this guy. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, my man, the man that keeps me moving and grooving each and every week of this show, the CEO of the Sports Profits, Teddy Brooks.
Yeah,
What's
so
up, Teddy?
What's up, guys? I walked in today with my tail between my legs a little bit. First time losing 2 weeks in a row on this show in the history of this show. So I put the goat hat away, and I didn't come here wearing it. And then I thought to myself, and I watched that Jameis Winston.
Yeah, where's the statues?
The goat statues put away.
Wow.
But you know what? I believe in myself, so hold on a second.
Oh, boy.
We're putting it back on, baby.
All
We're
right.
putting it back on.
That's what I like. I like the
We're
spirit.
bringing it back.
I like the spirit.
There we go.
Guys, I want to talk a little World Series with you, if you don't mind. Let's face it, the Dodgers came. Freddie Freeman, unbelievable. What do you think of what's going on with him, TK? Unbelievable.
He's smashing the ball. Hit another one last night. And I'm ready to kick. Hopefully after tonight, I get my $200 from you after this game here tonight.
Oh, yeah, we got our little bet. Well, hey, guys, look.
If Ben didn't spend it yet.
I'm sweating this baby out right here. One game at a time, I series bet on the Yankees. So I'm hoping at least we have a shot to go to Game 6 in L.A. I think we might get there. What do you think?
I saw Ben post on his Instagram a nice tomahawk ribeye.
Oh, boy.
From
me?
I think when he's holding your guys' money.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that money went fast off the table here when we did that, right?
Listen, here's what I'm thinking about this series. In the beginning of the playoffs, you asked what we thought, and I said, I don't trust the Yankees.
Okay.
And then last week, I hopped on your bandwagon, and I said, okay, we're rolling with the Yankees because I like the way they were playing. And sure enough, I should have stuck with my initial instinct not to trust the Yankees because they just have not showed up at all.
Well, the problem with the Yankees, it's not that they didn't show up. They're just not getting the clutch hit when they need it. I mean, they have base runners, and then they have first and second a couple of times. They had runners on, bases loaded in game 2, I believe it was, in the ninth inning. They're 4-2, and they had bases loaded, 1 out. They couldn't score there. I mean, they've had their chances. First game, grand slam with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th inning. I mean, by Freddie Freeman, of course. So, I mean, it's not like they didn't have a chance. They've been in it, but they're not winning. That's
but you're
the bottom line.
You're not showing up. If you're getting those moments to show up, and those players aren't showing up in those moments, that's not showing up. And as good as Stanton's been in these postseasons, did you guys see his run when he was coming from second into home and got thrown out? You see how slow he was going?
Yeah, they were mentioning there was a couple of comments. I guess some of the guys weren't hustling like they should.
Yeah, there were some memes about it. People were making fun of him. They were putting like his face on a snail going across. I mean, he wasn't hustling.
Listen, that's the difference. When you're pumped up and you're motivated, you lose a couple of games in a row, you lose that good energy, and the Dodgers took advantage of it. But I think it's going to be a little interesting from this point on. I think if the Yankees can pull it off tonight, which I think they will, in Game 5, you're going back to L.A. 3-2. Put a little pressure on the Dodgers now, right?
That's true, but Ohtani hasn't done nothing in the series as well.
He's injured.
Yeah, well, he's still batting. He's still DH, and
Yep.
he's going to have a good game here tonight. I mean, they play tonight, 7 o'clock here tonight.
You think it's over?
I think the Dodgers close it out here tonight, and we get ready for college basketball next week.
Oh, college basketball. Love it.
No one's ever come back from a 3-0 deficit to win.
No, the closest, I think, I was talking to TK about that earlier. The closest I think it's been, it was Tampa Bay forced the game 6. I think they got it to a game 6 when they were down 3-0.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of money involved tonight, so Yankees might pull one out. A lot of money going on if they go another game.
Do you see those nuts at Yankee Stadium? You see the guy when
And Bettis?
Betts hit the ball, he
Ripped it
caught
right out of his glove.
I mean, I don't know. He didn't rip his hand out and the whole glove out at the same time, and they threw him out.
And they're letting him back in.
Are they really?
They made an announcement they're going to let him back in, and he said,
Crazy.
"I'll do whatever I have to do to help my team win."
Well, you see those crazies in the bleachers. I mean, when they finally had something to cheer about. Thank God they gave their home crowd something to cheer about. But you see when they hit those home runs and stuff, they go nuts in the stands there where they throw beer and they're throwing popcorn and they're throwing waters all over each other. Yankee Stadium, nothing like it. Nothing like it. But anyways, all right. So you're thinking Dodgers, obviously. You think they're going to win it tonight?
I think they close it out tonight. I think Ohtani has a big game this evening,
Mm-hmm.
and they finish it off here this evening.
What's your thoughts? I mean, obviously it's 3-1, but whatever. You think it's going to 6 or 7? Or you think it ends?
I'm done predicting this.
You're
World.
done?
I mean, you just don't know who you're going to get.
You don't know what line.
You know, what I do like, though, is I like taking a team coming off some momentum from the game before.
Okay.
So I think the momentum that the Yankees have right now, I think could help boost them through one more game. But I wouldn't take them for the series, even though it's probably plus a lot of money.
Well,
Dodgers 10-1.
Ben, I got no choice, so I got my ticket here that I put in. I don't bet series bets. I'm not like that, but I got my ticket on this one, so I'm going to just go one day at a time and hope for the best. Anyways, moving on, guys. I think we touched on the World Series. TK feels the Dodgers get it done tonight. I feel it extends. I'm looking at hopefully a 6 or a 7. If it goes to 7, woo, then I got a little decision making to make on that. And Teddy just doesn't want to be involved. I don't
I think
blame
you
him.
can throw it in the recycle bin on a garbage pickup day tomorrow.
Well, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. All right, guys, listen, we got a big-time weekend of college football ahead of us here. A couple of marquee matchups. We'll talk about that, a little bit later on. But I want to get to address what my man, he's been working hard on these games, being in touch with me all week. The one and only TK. I know he's got a couple of nice college plays going, I think, on Friday and Saturday.
I'm going Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week.
Wow.
And I'm doing something I hardly ever do because I like dogs, but I'm giving out some favorites here this week in the college football.
Well, you got one game on Thursday night, right?
Thursday night, the Charlotte Tulane game. Tulane minus 16 and 55.5. I mean, Charlotte, they're just horrible against the spread.
Check that line, by the way. I think it's dropped.
It dropped a little bit. I just looked at it a couple minutes ago.
I'm showing 14.5.
Oh, it dropped. It must have dropped in the last hour or so.
Yeah.
You have a 14F Tulane. Charlotte just horrible against the spread, 3-13 against the spread. Last 16 at home. Tulane's just opposite. They're 14-3 on the road against the spread. I'm looking for a big blowout here in this game. Tulane win this game by 20 plus easily.
Okay. You got a team 1-5 in a row working for you. So Tulane's been red hot. North Texas is at best a iffy team. So you're feeling they're going to blow them out.
I think they'll win this game by at least 20 plus. I just looked at it. The line did move 1.5 points. When you look at the game last night, FIU, though, they were a 10-point favorite, dropped down to 7, and they still covered last night.
Okay. How you rating that game?
4-star.
4-star play. I want to jump to Teddy. I want to bounce it around a little bit. Then I'll go back to you. It's with the college. Anything you're looking at strong for this week?
Oh yeah, I'm
us a win.
just Saturday and Sunday for me. So you want me to roll right now?
Just do your
I'll
top plays for Saturday.
I have 2 top plays for Saturday. This one, the first one that I'm going over right now, is my best bet of the week. This is going to be a great SEC game. You got Ole Miss facing Arkansas. Ole Miss, Arkansas. Ole Miss is sitting at about -6.5 right now. We saw Arkansas beat Tennessee. We saw Ole Miss stumble a couple times this year. They lost to LSU, and then they lost earlier in the season to Kentucky. But Ole Miss is still a powerhouse team. They lead the conference in points per game at 39. They lead the conference in passing yards per play, 9.5. They have an elite defense. They're only allowing 11 points a game. Great stuff what I'm seeing from Ole Miss. And here's the thing. If Ole Miss runs that schedule out and they beat Georgia and they win the rest of their games, they can still make the college football playoff. So I think they have a lot to play for in this game. Overall, in the country, they're number 1 in the SEC. They're number 7 in the country in points scored, and their top 5 or 10 talent they just have they've had some bad breaks this year. So I'm rolling hard. I'm rolling hard with Ole Miss in this one, -6.5.
Okay. You know the SEC as good as anybody out there. It's probably one of your favorite conferences, if not all of our. It's quiet this week. You notice there's not a lot of big matchups coming out of the SEC.
There's
It's
not. That's
more
probably
Big
the
Ten
biggest one.
Yeah, more Big Ten this week, and on Big 12 games, marquee games going this week than the SEC. But that should be an interesting game because this Arkansas has been a live play throughout the season. They have played some very good close games against some very good opponents. So
They have.
and they're a home dog. That's a big number. So you must really feel strongly and confident, obviously, that offense is going to,
Jackson Dart, their quarterback, Ole Miss's quarterback, he's been hit or miss. Like, he was my Heisman pick going into the year, and he's definitely been disappointing at times. But I think when he's on, he's really, really tough to stop. And if he's on, they're gonna win by double digits, easy.
Okay.
Easy, maybe 3 touchdowns.
Let me ask you, what's your feeling on that game? It looks like both offenses can pour it on. Do you think that game is going to be? You looking at the total at all, or not really?
Well, not really, because both offenses are high powered.
It's a pretty low number, I think, 53.5 for those kind of offenses. No.
Both offenses are high powered, but Ole Miss's defense is really potent. I mean, not a lot of people. They have one of the best offenses. They have the best offense in the SEC. So no one talks about their defense. But their defense is potent. They're ranked number 2, I think, in scoring at 11 points per game. They ranked number 1 in the country in stopping the run.
All right, you heard it there. And how you rate? Yeah, we'll do that one.
That's my best bet.
Okay.
That's my best bet.
What do you rate in that game? Do you rate them?
I don't do the ratings.
Just best bet.
If I was using the TK rating system, it would be a 5 all day, though.
Okay. You want to give your other play in college?
Yes, sir. I got Virginia Tech facing Syracuse. I think you're on this game also.
Oh, boy.
There we go. And I could be wrong, but I think we agree on this game. Both of these teams had interesting games last week. Syracuse outgained Pittsburgh by 100 yards, but they lost by 4 touchdowns. How often do you see that happen?
A lot of turnovers in that game, though.
3 pick sixes in the first
quarter.
half.
2
in the first quarter, another one in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So 3 pick sixes in one half of a football game is insane. So that's why that happened. V-Tech was actually outgained by their opponent, Georgia Tech, last week, but they beat them by 2 touchdowns. Okay. Here's the thing. You look at these teams' numbers, Virginia Tech puts up the better numbers, and they do it against a tougher schedule. Syracuse has no running game, 2.2 yards per play, 111th in rushing yards. Here's the thing. Virginia Tech's pass rush is 11th in the country. Virginia Tech knows they can't run, so all they got to do is get to the quarterback, not worry about the running back, and I think Virginia Tech easily covers the spread. Okay. I'm sure you're gonna do it too when you go over it, but I'm gonna move this one to 3. Syracuse is 2-4 in their last 6 games as a home dog. Virginia Tech is 4-1 in their last 5 as a road favorite.
A lot of stats, man. Guys are on top of these games, and I'm going to agree 1,000% with you. Actually, this is one of my top plays of all the games on Saturday. I just like the way Virginia Tech is moving right now. They're moving in that direction. I look for offensively and defensively showing up on both sides of the ball. Syracuse, I think, got a reality check last week. I think they were playing over their heads at 5-1 before they ran into that Pittsburgh team. I think Virginia Tech is almost a mirror image of a Pittsburgh type of team. They could score on offense, shut you down a little bit on that defense. They've won 3 straight games in a row. Yeah, they're 5-3. Syracuse is 5-2. Doesn't matter to me. They're respecting Virginia Tech in this game big time, making this line 4 on the road, because I thought this game would be Syracuse minus either pick 'em or minus 1.5. So I'm looking at 4.5 points in my favor going into it. I'm going to bring this line down to 3. Definitely full point down. I'll take it to 3. And this is my best bet. Virginia Tech minus the 3. Go Hokies. All right. And anything else on Saturday, TK, for you?
I'm actually going on Friday night.
Friday
night. I'm going to go on this.
Bouncing all over you.
Yeah, I like this game on Friday night.
He's got a game every day.
I got to have
it's a game. Like a vitamin, man. One a day. Keeps you healthy.
The guys say, like I said, use trends and angles. That's not the only thing I use. I got my power ratings over the last 30 years. I mean, I do a lot of videos with trends and angles, but, like you said, those don't mean anything
What's
sometimes.
the difference? If it's working,
if it's winning, it's winning.
That's it, baby.
I'm going on the San Diego State, Boise State game. I think Boise State right now, I just looked at 23.5. I know the dog is 8-1 the last 9 in the series. This shouldn't even matter in this one. I mean, San Diego State a little banged up on their offense and defense. I'm going to give you a big blowout on Friday night. I'm going to lay the points with Boise State. They win by 30+ in this one on Friday night.
Love it. If they're right, they're definitely the better team by far, and they're in bowl hunt, that's for sure. And they're ranked in the what are they? I think they're ranked. I think they're ranked like 15th in the country.
And
yeah,
they got potentially the best player in college football this year with this Ashton Jeanty guy.
Yeah.
Ashton, I don't even know how to say it. How do you?
I couldn't.
It's either Ashton Jeanty or Ashton Jeanty.
We
Guys,
don't, we don't
love
get paid
you.
for grammar.
We love you guys. We know you're going to be on our ass about the pronunciation of this guy's
don't worry
name,
about
as
it.
you always are.
It's all right.
But yeah,
If they're going to pick on that, then I don't know what to tell them.
He's a very good running back, and he's running all over everyone.
Okay, so you're done with college football.
I got one
he's
on
got a
Saturday, but I'll
Saturday
go back
also.
to jump into today. I'll go back to another one on Saturday in a
No,
minute.
wrap it up. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to go into Big 12 on this TCU Baylor game. Baylor is -3 right now. Baylor coming off that big win last week against Oak State. They moved the ball, very strong on the ground. I'm looking for to do the same in this game. TCU is just 2-7 against the spread their last 9 overall, 2-6 on the road. I'm going to get paid on this one today on Saturday with Baylor -3, win this game by 10+.
Let me ask you, did you guys see the schedule? It's kind of weird. The latest game on Saturday is 8 o'clock Eastern. No
That's what
West
happens
Coast
when
games.
you get rid of the Pac-12.
Yeah, well, I guess they're traveling. They're all playing on the East Coast or something.
That's what happens when there's no
Yeah,
Pac-12 because they're all in
That's actually the last game on the board.
8 o'clock.
TCU and Baylor.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for the election on next week. So.
Who'd you like in that game? I'm sorry.
I'm going to go with Baylor -3. I think they win this game by 10+. I mean, total's up there 65. We know there's going to be some points scored in this game. Not touching the total.
Man, those
Just gonna
games
jump
kinda-
on Baylor.
Those scare me, those type of games.
You know what? You want to know what I think? I think it's a travesty. I think it's a travesty that that I can't watch college football at midnight.
But you might be watching Game 6 of the World Series. You never know.
I think you might be watching Saturday Night Live instead.
Is it, no, there's some UFC or other. I don't know if there's a Game 6. If there was a game, no, I don't think they're playing. Are they playing on Saturday or it's Friday?
The next game will be Friday and Saturday if it goes to Game
Okay,
7.
there you go. So you might be watching some baseball
We'll
on
see.
Saturday
I
night.
know you're hoping.
Yeah, I am hoping. Woo-wee.
UFC's in Canada this week, fight night.
All right, so are you done with the college
I'm
football?
done with the college. I'm done with the college.
All right, how you rating that last play on?
Every game I put out on the show is 4-star units. Might step it up a little bit more come the weekend. And like I said, we look at injuries and weather come to the weekend. But right now, 4-star units on these 3 plays.
Now, quick question for you, TK. Are there times, because I know there are for me, where I drop one way or another, where I like it more, like it less. There's times where you'll say 4-star on here, but then it'll
Then put
become
it to 3.
But then
Yeah,
come to
because we
3.
could have injuries. We could have weather. It started
Right.
raining, snowing. Snow's going to be coming up. Winter's coming around the corner. A lot of stuff could be changed in these games.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, we're doing these shows 3 or 4 days before the game, so a lot of things could happen. Maybe even take you off the plate as it gets closer. That's why the private service, when you're dealing with players directly, works really well because you're in touch with them, minutes within a few hours before a game. So this way they can get the benefit if, last minute stuff happens that you're going to pull off the game versus just, putting it out early in the week. So always watch that, guys. But, we're pretty confident in our plays. That's why we're putting them out early in the week. Did you have anything else in college? Because I had one more I really
No,
liked.
I'm just waiting for your what used to be a Pac-12 game. Not
Yeah.
anymore.
No, it's called now a Big 12 matchup, and I'm scratching my head to this one. This is one of these games that makes me go, kind of stuff. You got Washington and USC. USC on the road, which has not won a road game this year. Both these teams have the same exact record, 4-4. They're making USC a solid 2.5 point. I don't know if it's solid, but 2.5 point favorite. They get the respect because of the program, obviously. Lincoln Riley, great coach, so forth, so on. Washington, national championship last year as far as being in the game, got all the way to the final game, but obviously lost a lot. They lost their head coach. So it's definitely not the program. They've lost their last couple of games against very good opponents on the road, Iowa and Indiana, which I think is a buzzsaw team right now. That was my big play last week, Indiana over Washington. But I think coming home, they're a much better team, 4-1 at home, going against a team I don't understand that's favored against them that hasn't won a road game. I love the dog in this game. I would buy this line from 2.5 right up to 3.5. I wouldn't even think twice. This game is just a head scratcher. I think it's an absolute opportunity to steal a game. I think they made the wrong number on the game. I think the game should have been a pick-em or -1 or 2 for Washington. They're giving me points. I'm grabbing it. I'm going to the bank. Washington. Boom.
Had a game opened up as a pick. I see it at the Circa right now. They're at -3.
-3.
-3, USC
All right,
-3,
good.
and I just moved to 3.
Well,
at Circa.
the public is always going to bet USC no matter what, just from their reputation and their coach, and, and the whole program, the whole 9 yards. But they haven't won a road game. They're not, they played okay in them, but they're not winning on the road. They're playing a team that just came off 2 road games in a row against 2 tough opponents in their that they went against with Iowa and Indiana. I mean, no slouches.
They got clobbered by both.
Yeah, that's okay. They expected to
You
lose.
think that's affecting the line a little bit, a little recency bias there?
Yeah, could be something like that because they're on the downside slightly because of those road games. But when they come home, they find ways to pump up. That's why they're 4-1 at home. I'll take the 4-1 at home, and I'll take the points and run with it. That's my final game for Saturday. I'm ready to go right into the NFL. I'm kind of jacked up. How about yourself? You ready to rumble?
I'm ready to rumble for an NFL. Whenever you want to go first, Teddy, you can go jump in
Yeah.
NFL. I'll go right into it.
Go ahead, TK.
I'll go right into the game, Sarah, because I love this game on Sunday. I can't wait to watch it on Sunday. Miami-Buffalo, man, this is going to be a great matchup here for the AFC. I mean, Buffalo right now is 6, I think. The line's 6-50. Buffalo 3-0 against the spread their last 3 games. And they're also 3-0 against the spread the last 3 in the series against Miami. Miami 1-8 their last 9 against the spread. They blew a nice lead last week against Arizona. I'm looking for Buffalo to come win this game and take care of business by at least 15. Just a strong blowout here. Miami gets blown out on Sunday.
You don't think it could be a trap?
I don't think this is a trap. I watched that
No?
game with Tua. I mean, the best thing he did in that game was a slide on last Sunday. I mean, they just looked horrible against Arizona. They gave up that game. I just Miami. They got too much going on with their receivers. They're arguing and whatnot. Buffalo is due for a big steamroll. They should win this game by 2 touchdowns at least.
Okay, cool. 4 stars?
I'd probably put this one as a 5-star play.
Whoa.
I'll wait till Sunday, but I would put it on. That's how much I hate the Dolphins. I'm a Dolphin fan.
You're wearing their colors somewhat, though, there.
Yeah, might be a South Beach shirt, but I don't know about Miami Dolphins color.
All right, so Buffalo is the best bet. Hey, listen, Josh Allen, he's the man. They're running that division, that's for sure. The AFC East goes right through Buffalo. Let's see what the Dolphins come with. I mean, I don't know if they can keep up with the pace of Buffalo, but if Buffalo's right, yeah, they should win that game pretty handily. But I'm not touching it. Anything else in the NFL?
Nothing.
Before I move to Teddy.
Nothing in the NFL. I'm going to stick with my one play on Sunday in the NFL. Buffalo, just to whip them out of the stadium.
All right, you heard it. Ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, TK Wins, coming up with his NFL picks for you. Now let's jump to the other guru here.
Yeah, so I got 2 games that I'm looking at, and I've been a little back and forth on, and then I made an interesting decision on what to do with these things. So you got the Cowboys-Falcons in the first one, and these guys are, Cowboys are coming off of a loss, obviously, against San Fran. Falcons coming off of a massive, massive win against Tampa Bay. 2 inconsistent teams, though. You don't know who you're going to get week in, week out. And I think the Falcons -2, -2.5 here looks like a trap line to me. Looks like a little bit of a recency bias line, because Kirk Cousins had that great game last week, 276 yards, 4 touchdowns. But the Cowboys have a lot of fast linebackers that I think can get to Kirk Cousins, whereas they couldn't really do that against the team.
I got to give you credit. You got balls, going with this. It sounds like you're leaning towards Dallas, or no?
Well, I am. I'm leaning towards Dallas. I think Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb started to connect in the second half of the game last week. It's a tough 49ers defense. I'm seeing a lot of recency bias in this line here. And Dallas is 4-0, coming off back-to-back losses, going all the way back to 2021. So, but hold your horses there. We're also looking at this Chargers-Browns game. Real quick, Ben, let's see that clip. This is Jameis Winston after the win last week in a little highlight reel. And I didn't have the time to look for it here.
Famous Jameis?
Famous Jameis.
Oh, boy.
There's a white boy from Detroit that I really admire named Eminem. He said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity lasts once in a lifetime.
Oh, for the end zone for Tillman. He's got it.
It felt amazing.
Throws to the outside. Pass is caught.
I like what he says at the end the best.
Goes toward Moore, who's got it on the sidelines.
Ifs and shoulds and woulda, couldas don't mean nothing.
Takes the snap. Winston to the near side. He's got his man.
This was a fan base win.
Tillman on the slant into the end zone.
when I am making great decisions one play at a time, I am a great NFL quarterback. I am certain of that.
So
Yeah,
I
but
listen.
we've heard that before, though.
I
haven't we?
listened to that and I thought about myself. When I'm making great decisions, one bet at a time, I am a great sports bettor. But here's the thing, guys. Famous Jameis, as you said, Scotty, are you not getting flashbacks of Flacco coming in last year for Deshaun Watson and really doing a good job? Getting flashbacks. This guy, yeah, he could be inconsistent at times, but he motivates the locker room. They're excited to play now. Nick Chubb's been back. This is his 3rd week back. He provides another element to that offense there to keep the offense on the field, keep Myles Garrett and the defense rested. Cleveland's 12-5 against the spread at home. Look, here's what I'm doing here at the end of the day. Both of these games are sitting around 2.5. I'm going to tease them through 2 key numbers. So I'm going to tease the Browns up to 9.5, and I'm going to tease the Cowboys up to 9.5. If I can get a teaser on dogs through 2 key numbers, through 3 and through 7, I'm seeing major value there. So overall,
You might need every point there, bro.
I might trickle a little bit on the single spreads.
You're
but
asking some bad teams to show up for you.
I
but
am. That's
I'm
okay.
staying away
though.
from that game too.
I'm moving
The
them
only
both
thing that
through
game
key
has got me
numbers.
hungry for crab legs now.
The Browns, to be honest with you, listen, no disrespect to you. You do your work, and listen, you like it, great. I'm not saying it's not a play, but the problem with me with teams like that, they're just so damn inconsistent.
I
They
agree.
show up last week, great. Now this week, they don't even come to play. That's why they're 2-6. Yeah, can Jameis give him the spark? But now he's going, like you said, against that tough defense. He's going against pretty damn good defense with
He's
the
definitely going against a better defense
Yeah.
than he went against last week.
and,
That's for sure.
They're not respecting them. I mean, to be honest, after a big win like that, beating Baltimore, now they're a slight dog at home. I mean, yeah, the Chargers have a better record. Harbaugh, Herbert, whatever, the weapons and so forth and so on. Should be an interesting game, but I'm not sold on Cleveland at this point.
Well, like I said, I'm teasing them both to pretty big numbers
Yeah,
here.
big
Like,
numbers. You should.
like you
be
said,
right.
I need every point I can get, so I'm
Yeah.
taking them.
And you made a pick on the Dallas? Did you make
I'm teasing both of those games through the two.
no straight bets?
No, not. I might sprinkle. I got to see closer to the game time, but right now I'm sold on this teaser.
All right, cool. So, guys, you understand where he's going with this. He's taken both those games. He's taken Dallas up to 9.5, and he's taken Cleveland to +9 and 9.5. Right now, there's a line's about 2.5. He's not playing them straight. He's putting them in a 2-team teaser, laying 130 to win 100. But listen, he's smart because he's taking advantage of teams he feels can be competitive against their opponents, and he's adding the points on. So that's not a bad play when you have a couple of games you like, and now you can get the extra points. So I'm with you on that. Good decision there. I'm looking at a couple of games in the NFL, guys, this weekend that look dynamite. I'm going to start with this one. I think this should be an old-fashioned ass kicker. Philadelphia and Jacksonville. I just see the Eagles coming home. I mean, they're starting to play great since they had their bye. They're 3-0. They've been winning big. They're showing up on offense. They're showing up on that defense. That defense is brutal. Jacksonville has not won a game on the road. They're 0-4 this year on the road technically. They did win a game in London, but they were the favorite. They were home team in that game, so it doesn't count as a road win. But like I said, I just think Philadelphia is just too much right now. The line was 6.5. It's jumped to 7.5. I'm bringing it back to the original number at 6.5. Keep it under 7. I think Philly flies and rolls in this game and wins by double digits. I'm thinking this game's about a 12 to 18-point win. So I'm taking Philadelphia to bury Jacksonville. I don't see how Jacksonville can play with them if the Eagles show up. You guys like that game at all or not really?
I'm staying away from that game. Wasn't it originally supposed to be the night game, and I think they switched the times on that one.
It's a 4:25 game now. Yeah, 4:25. One other game I like. I'm surprised you guys didn't even look at this. Well, I'm sure you looked at it.
Oh boy,
Detroit and Green Bay. I don't like going against my man, Mr. Love, but I got to go against them because I just think that Detroit is a freight train that can't be stopped right now. They're just putting up 50 like it's nothing. I mean, when you put up 50 and you put up in the 40s, that means you're stopping your opponents. You're having more possessions. You're doing something right on defense to get the ball back on offense. And I just think that somehow, some way, even if Love, he's probably going to play because this guy's as tough as nails, finds ways to play even after getting beat up. But I think he's going to force something. He always seems to force something. And I like Detroit in this game. It's currently 3.5. No way I'm leaving a game on 3.5. I bring this game down to -3 or 2.5. I did that last week with Green Bay. I was smart enough to take from 3.5 down to 2.5, got the ticket paid against Jacksonville. I like definitely Detroit in this game, 3-0 on the road. They're winning games. Yes, Green Bay's good, but I don't know if they're good enough. I think Detroit's the cream of the crop in this division. So take Detroit -2.5. Best bet. Those are my two best bets for the weekend. NFL. I'm done.
I think you forgot a game of college, Ohio State, Penn State. I thought we had a
Yeah, well, I was going to
talk about that one.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the marquee matchup. You're right. We kind of skipped over, got a little excited, and jumped into the NFL. Penn State and Ohio State. Ohio State obviously coming off that brutal loss when the quarterback couldn't slide down and stop the clock, could have kicked that game-winning field goal. They probably would have been the number one team in the country right now coming into this game. But these Nittany Lions, man.
I picked them at the beginning of the season to win the national championship.
7-0.
Yeah, they're 4-1. Their last 5 is a home underdog, and they're a dog in this one. I'm not putting out as a play, but this is going to be a great game to watch.
I was going to say their quarterback's questionable. Is he playing?
He's most likely not going to. Supposedly, he's questionable to not play. Whatever that means. But their backup played a hell of a role last week. He didn't make any mistakes. So I mean, I think that he could probably, as long as he doesn't make mistakes against if you make mistakes against a team like Ohio State, you're gonna get burnt somehow, some way.
Still a small number in this game.
3.5. Ohio State's on the road, favorite 3.5.
3.5. Navy, we were talking about Navy last week. Why they were a 14-point underdog, and then they proved why they were a 14 underdog. Got smoked last week. I think we talked about last week.
You had Notre Dame there.
I had
right?
Notre Dame to smoke them, and they smoke showed them.
And I remember we were talking about it because I said, Navy hadn't played anyone. I think we were talking about that, and the line didn't surprise me at all. And it was the biggest public play of the week, Navy.
Yeah, well, they had 6, so many turnovers in that game. That's what kills these games: turnovers, mistakes, penalties. Could be a big jump, like the Syracuse game. 3 pick sixes,
Crazy. Pick sixes.
But anyways, let me ask you: do you have a pick on that game? Because that's the biggest game of the weekend.
If I had to play that game, I'd probably take the dog with Penn State because, like I said, they're strong at home as an underdog. I'm staying away from that game, but it's going to be a great game to watch.
Anything?
Yeah. So I mean, I look at that game, and whenever I see a team where a big player on that team gets hurt, and the line doesn't really move that much.
Well, it did. It moved from the standpoint that they put it out at a bigger number right from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? They adjusted the line.
I see it open at 3 and went to 4. I mean, only a point.
They put the line probably higher than they would have put it.
But there's preseason lines also, and it didn't really move much from that. Okay. But when I see something like that, the public is pounding Ohio State. I'm not betting it, but if I had to bet it, I'd be with TK, and I'd go with the home dog in this one, especially because of the rivalry. These games are usually tight. Probably be a 2 or 3 point game here. So if you can get 4 or 3.5, I think you take it.
Okay.
I'm surprised you're not on this week. UCF to rebound this week. After that game on Saturday.
I can't keep doing it. Exactly. UCF. I can't keep doing it, man. 5 in a row.
Can't chase these bad teams.
I can't chase the bad teams, man.
I figured you'd be all over that one this week, Lane. This 6.
I can't.
I mean, we're out here preaching to the audience, not to chase after things. Yep. So why chase teams that are just not playing right?
Did I look at it? Yeah. Did I think about it? Yeah. But then.
See, if you would have went to the game, you would have won that one last week.
Scotty's voice was in my head when I was looking at that game. I knew if I came here and gave UCF, I knew I'd hear it from him.
Guys, I think we're done with the football for this week, but I just wanted to touch before we go. Obviously get your ideas. The NBA's here. People want to know what we're thinking, obviously, what's going on right now. So you want to jump in a little NBA?
I know, he doesn't like the NBA. I love the NBA. I think I started the season off on 4-1. I think the only game I lost was Milwaukee. -9. I won last night with Dallas. I mean, I love the NBA.
Let me ask you, what's your thoughts? There's 3 undefeated teams left. Obviously, Boston, the champs from last year.
Will they lose a game this year? Could they be the only team to ever go undefeated in the NBA? They're so powerful. I know, joking, but how powerful is Boston? I mean, come on, man. They're just killing teams.
Yeah, they got so many pieces to the puzzle.
The New York Knicks said they're on steroids. They need to be drug tested or something, I think, the other day after they got killed.
What about the Cavaliers? They're 4-0 also, and OKC's 3-0. The only 3 teams left. The Lakers lost the other night. They were undefeated.
And how about the Heat? How did the Heat been doing? I
The
really.
Heat are 2-1.
How about that statue they put up there? Looks nothing like Dwayne Wade. Man, that's crazy.
And he said he went. Yeah, I was like crazy. I'm listening to Dwayne Wade saying he went through all the helping them and designing of it, and to make it look like exactly him. I didn't see it look like him at all.
that
Did
didn't
you?
even, that didn't even look nothing like him.
Nothing.
I mean,
Terrible.
I don't get it.
Terrible.
I don't
I
get
thought
it.
it was a joke, like the one that they did with Beckman that time. Remember they had Beckman, the TV show, the night host. Was it?
Who?
They did a joke on Beckham with the statue for the stadium in L.A.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, Odell?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
I couldn't believe it because he's saying he's went through the whole process with them and gave them the all these things and ideas, and when I looked at the unveiling of it, I'm like, what the hell is this?
That's crazy.
Hey, listen, Wade County, don't forget. I mean, the guy was great for the Heat, so he definitely deserves the statue. There's no doubt about it. Hey, I wanted to just get your guys' opinions on. I mean, I know you don't really are into the NBA. I love the NBA as well because I think you could take advantage of mistakes. And I've been hot early in the NBA myself, taking advantage. The other night, I had a big play on Cleveland +3 against the Knicks. They beat them outright, making that their 4th straight win in a row. But I think there's good value out there right now, don't you? With the point spreads on certain teams.
A lot of them in the totals too. I mean, you see these totals move 4 points on the over-unders in the NBA. I don't play a lot of totals, but when you get a total moving 2-3 points,
Go
you
more
gotta
than
take
that.
advantage of it. You gotta take advantage, especially in college basketball starting next week.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I mean, I just see, guys saying, well, I don't really like the NBA. You know what? Forget about liking it. I'm in it for the money. It's not about what I like. It's about what I want to do. And what I want to do is I want to try to find value, and I want to try to beat the house. So if I see it, whether it's, I don't care what the sport is, NHL hockey, or it's, college this, college sports, or professional sports, I'm looking for the edge. And I think there's some big advantages, like I said, right now with the NBA, because there's a lot of guys out of the lineup, right?
Yep, and exactly. Now, years ago, they never really did this, but in the NBA, they're putting the lines up overnight now. Scott will tell you, back in the day, they would put them out to 10:30, 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
Now they're putting them out overnight. With all this legalized sports betting with DraftKings, they want the lines up there.
Yeah, they
you get
moved
some
them.
soft numbers up there.
Yeah. I mean, if
Some soft numbers.
Guys, let me explain to you. The NBA, it's a long season. We all get it here. I mean, baseball's the longest, but the NBA is second longest at 82 games. Then you get the NHL at 81 or whatever the case may be. And obviously the NFL is the shortest season and college football. But there's opportunities because these players are not going to play every night. We all know that. That's what probably Teddy hates about it because the marquee guys sit out. They're making $100 million a year.
But they're doing something good about that. We'll talk about that in a second.
Well, look at the Lakers. LeBron's son, they send him to the G League or something to play a few games. I mean,
yeah, they want to get him,
They want to get him a little pumped up,
right.
Score some points because he's not really
It's not even a question of scoring points. They got to get him.
They got to get some motivation, get him in the groove.
Yeah. But down the road, let's see what comes out of that. I don't see too much coming out of it.
I know Teddy's ready for the college basketball, and I know next week we're going to talk about it, but I'm going to tell you right now, my team to win the Final Four this year, and I hate to say it because I'm not this cool, Alabama.
Wait a minute. To win the Final Four? What do you mean? To win the whole tournament?
To win the whole tournament next year.
Really?
I'm going to go with Alabama, man. I'm going to go to the game this year. If you go up, I want to go to Bama for a basketball game.
They were solid last year. They were super solid. That doesn't surprise me at all. The thing with the NBA, and I think they're working on it now, they're investigating the 76ers with
a knee injury or whatever.
with his whole situation. So if they can kind of clamp down on these players just randomly missing and not giving a heads up, I think it can get a lot better. And maybe I'll even start throwing my money on it again. But real quick, I just wanted to say, these Canadian teams in hockey in the show after us, Cats and Bolts, they'll be talking about it, I'm sure. But you got the Winnipeg Jets with only one loss. You got the
I've made some good money with them.
You got the Vancouver Canucks with only one loss, and then you got
Calgary.
And then you got the Calgary with, well, they're 5-3, but then you got the Oilers with a losing record. So that's a little bit surprising, but I'm sure they started really bad last year also before they heated up.
81 games, man.
A lot of games.
San Jose just won their first game the other night, I think.
But you know what? The Florida Panthers are staying strong.
Strong,
They're first place.
Slapping them. I played a couple over the totals, man, 5.5, and they've been slapping them
Panthers 7-3, baby.
All right.
Bob's looking good. Bobrovsky.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Anyways, guys, we had a great show. Anything you want to add before we go, or are we good to go?
I'm good to go, man. I'm ready to have a good weekend in the college and pro football.
All right. Well, you've been hot. You've been number one guy on the show with the winning consistently week after week. TK
Got to knock
in
on
the
some
house.
wood over here. Got to knock down that wood over here.
TK in the house. Follow that guy. He knows what he's doing. Matter of fact, how can they follow you, TK?
Well, if you want to find me, the best place always is go right to my website, tkwins.com. Get my top plays there. And I'm going to have some good ones this weekend, man. We got NFL full on force, college football, got some strong ones coming up. So check us out on that.
Check out that shirt, man, before you go.
Wait till you see next week. So I'm gonna go find another one.
I think Ben's going to steal it off your back when you leave, before you leave the studio.
Yep.
And that's it?
Listen, this is good for Halloween, man. Halloween tomorrow. We've got to wear our costumes.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Happy Halloween, everybody out there. That's right. Trick or treat. Stay safe out there. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be coming back with vengeance. I just got a big feeling he's going to go on a tear. And you should definitely check him out because he's definitely putting some things out each and every day for you. How do they find you, Teddy?
It's only a matter of time. You go to the Instagram at @the_profits_pick, no S after pick, stop after the K, www.thesportsprofits.com, and youtube.com/@thesportsprofits. We're giving away free picks. We're putting up articles, and guys will guide you. Sometimes people ask us questions in the comment, like, should I buy the point here? Should I not buy the point here? And we'll reply and let you know what we think you should do if we see it in time.
I had one quick question before I sign off. Can they get in touch with you direct if they want to get to, like, in your VIP? Is there a way they can reach you directly if they want to buy something or go to your website?
If you go to the website, you go right to the contact us form. That's probably the best way. Send a message. I get the email right away. Or if you go to Instagram.
Yeah, but what is tell them what it is.
The tkwins.com.
Yeah.
The contact us. They go right to the contact us page.
Okay.
Or they can text the number on the screen. The best way, too, I usually check them, every few hours or so. You can hit me up on Instagram as well. You can DM me there at TKWins. You can get me right there as well.
Sometimes my DMs get lost.
Yeah, they go into like a spam folder.
There's like a bunch of different
Is
folders.
there a way they can buy your direct service from you, like go to a website and buy something?
Yeah, so if you go to thesportsprofits.com, we have packages up there.
Okay.
You can also go to the, like TK said, go to the Instagram and DM us.
Right.
Or you can go to the Instagram. You can sign up for.
Don't confuse them.
You can sign up for our trial, and then when we contact you, you can let us know, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
All right, guys, thanks for being with me again this week. Always a pleasure to have my boys here, TK and Teddy.
We forgot where we could find you.
Well, I'm going to say right now, you're giving me a chance to, Ben, they're cutting me right out of here. What's going on here? What's going on? Guys, it was a great show. This is the one and only Get the Edge. You can find our show on all podcast forums. Remember, Spotify, Apple. Go to our official page on YouTube and just type in Get the Edge Sports Podcast and check everything we do out. We're here working for you. We're trying to give you that winning edge. I'm Scott Matthews. Now, you guys could find me on my TikTok. I put out free stuff all the time. We've been on a heater right now. We've hit our last 4 straight free plays. We've hit over 61% for over 5 years on social media. Think about it, guys. Free plays, they go out 24 to 48 hours ahead of time. Most of us put these plays out early so they can be out there for a while so you guys have a chance to find them. So just check me out on TikTok, SMPicks, P-I-C-K-S. That's it. That's my official site for TikTok. Also, you can find me on Instagram, which is SM Sports Picks. Everything's up for free. Check it all out. And like I said, great show, guys. Appreciate it. We're going to be back here next week. And have a great day. Let's get some winners in here for you and make some money. Boom. Let's go, Yankees.
It's gonna be a good game tonight.
I would love to see a comeback. These are the first time it ever happened.
Let's do it.